And welcome back, everyone. Victor! So, look, when I saw the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein trailer, I was intrigued. Guillermo del Toro is arguably my favorite director working right now. And there's great directors out there, don't get me wrong. But he's just got such a unique vision and style to him that I just really am interested anytime he's working on something. And so when they said he was showed that he was going to do his version of Frankenstein, I'm like, all right, saddle me up. When it comes on Netflix, me and my girlfriend will sit down and watch it. And then, as I'm just looking at, I'm looking at, like, I think I was on YouTube at one point. The ad came up for, I'm like, cool. Then it said in select theaters. I'm like, pardon? And I'm like, no, it's not coming to this theater. It's like, it's coming to that theater. So I'm like, screw it. Babe, you want to go see it? He's like, yeah! So we got in there. Now, we got in there. We were running a little late. We did not see, like, the first 2 minutes of the film. It was, like, barely the first 2 minutes of the film. But, so we missed, I don't think because this is on Netflix, I have a feeling there were no trailers attached to it. But we got in there. Basically, the movie is told essentially, it starts at the end and it retells where it started from the very start. That's what, because the movie is told in two sections. Well, technically three. The very opening, where they find Victor Frankenstein on the ice, the creature's coming after him, and he's on the boat, and basically he retells the tale of him creating the creature, all the things that happened there, and then ultimately what happened. Like, he thought the creature was destroyed. And then in the second half, I like it, and it's shown in the trailer. The two trailers we got, it was Victor's side of the story, and then it was the creature's side of the story, and that's what the second half of the film is. Right out the gate, let me get the few things I didn't love out of the way, and I didn't outright hate anything in the film. Maybe this was just the theater, but the sound mixing either in the theater or with the movie was a little off at points. I think it might have just been the theater. When me and my girlfriend both agreed we'll watch it again on Netflix to see if it comes off differently on Netflix than it did in the theater. But B, there's maybe a logic. There's like, what? This is just in my head. Because, and this goes to a little bit towards this is the Frankenstein story, so I'm not going to go into full spoilers about some of the things that are changed. And there are changes made from the original story here. But there are things that are just kept. Like, for example, one of the big things is the creature can't die. Like, they have amped the Frankenstein monster up to a certain degree. He actually does have superhuman capabilities. And he can survive quite a lot. And he comments like, nothing, I can't die. And I just comment to myself, wait, have you never tried to be decapitated? Maybe it's because we're watching, and my girlfriend pointed out, maybe because we're watching Supernatural right now again. We're on season 7. Then we'll break and watch something else and go back to season 8, whatever. But it's like, so it's the Leviathan season. It's like, gotta cut their head, pour this on them and cut their heads off. Like, yeah, have you never tried getting decapitated? Like, seriously, just have someone take an axe and just take your head off if you really want to die. So that was just minor. But the unfortunate biggest criticism I can have, and that's the thing, I wouldn't even call it a flaw. It is a criticism. It's 2 hours and 29 minutes. I felt the runtime. And it's not even that it's so weird because it's not even paced badly at all. It's a slower film, but it's slower in the sense of it's really taking its time for us to get to know these characters, where their mindsets are at, where they're coming from. It's a story of, juggling with the power, the moral dilemma of creating life, being a god. What does it mean to create life and give life? What does it mean to be a deity in some way? A creator. And if we create life, does the soul even exist? Where does it come from? There's so much philosophy and philosophical conversations happening here that it just makes for a fascinating watch. But the problem, and there is action in the movie. There's action in the beginning of the film. There's, trying to actually think where some of the other action in the film is. There's like one scene involving the old man and the old man Frankenstein meets and the cabin. I don't count any time him getting just randomly shot as an action scene, but I mean, yeah, maybe there's a grand total of 3 action sequences in this film, and I mean they're good, and the film doesn't skimp on the gore with either them or in general. The film has a body horror element like I have not normally seen in a Frankenstein film of nearly any kind. I know there's some variations on Frankenstein that definitely lean a bit more in the body horror. This one goes body horror. um, but with all that said, like it's not anything I'm really complaining about in terms of my enjoyment of the film. I'm enjoying what I'm watching, but by the end of it, I was like, whew, that was a sit. And my girlfriend just like I concur, like holy crap, I was like that was great, but it was long. Yeah, I know, right? Um, so yeah, that's really only true knock I can put against it. That's not even a knock. That's just a personal preference. It's probably going to feel different for other people. Other than that, though, right out of the gate, it's Guillermo del Toro. This film is gorgeous to look at. Absolutely gorgeous, dripping with gothic atmosphere and gothic beauty too. You just let some great landscape shots, some just great visuals. There's just a shot at one point of Victor hunting the creature down, and it's of all the shots that kind of for me to kind of focus my mind on, this one stands out. And he's in the Arctic, where it basically landed the midnight sun, where it's almost never dark, and the sun is setting, and you can just see the silhouette of the monster in distance or creature just looking at him, and just basically stalking him from a distance and just screwing with him. That's basically what it's doing, but it's screwing with him. And other shots, like the shot of the whole boat, which I think might have been practical, at least on some level. So that was fantastic to look at. Just the visual of the castle of Frankenstein. The forests, it is a gorgeous film to look at. It's also very, man, struggling to talk a little bit. Let's try that again. Maybe my mamu. It's also a very well acted film. Like everyone in this film is acting their asses off, really. Oscar Isaac, it's Oscar freaking Isaac, man. He goes without saying that he is a fantastic actor. He's an Oscar caliber actor. And we really get a unique kind of version of Victor here. Kind of the manic genius a little bit. I mean, we always get the manic genius. We got that with, big words here. Oh, Professor X. James McAvoy. We got that with James McAvoy, and was that Igor? But no, was that? Can't remember what the name of that was. That one Victor Frankenstein? I can't remember the name of that one with him, Daniel Radcliffe. He's the manic one, but he's more just manic than anything else. No, this is more the manic genius, but obsessed with death, obsessed with conquering. You really get that, and you get the arrogance too. That's the thing. That's one of the things I didn't quite get with James McAvoy's. Is that, yeah, there was arrogance with it, sure, but it was more like a naive arrogance. This is more, I am the hot shit arrogance. I know better than anyone else. And you get it when he's manic. He is manic. There's a scene where he's like he's in a bathtub just thinking, and then he literally gets out of the bath, butt ass naked. We get a full ass shot of Oscar Isaac. And he goes to this corpse he has just splayed out on his table, readjusts it, and it wakes up, and he like turns it off. I'm like, yes, bare-assed, insane genius. That's kind of what we get with Victor Frankenstein. But then you also get the human sides of him. The fact that he still has love for his brother. He still has love for this woman who is Elizabeth, who is engaged to his brother, played by Mia Goth. And near the end, it's clear that he's still human. He's just a flawed human who, as the line goes, only monsters play God. So it really is a terrific performance by him, absolutely. And I can't really praise it enough. Mia Goth, I'm gonna be honest, I am not a huge Mia Goth fan. is nothing against her in terms of, I don't think looks don't matter. She does have a unique look to her. I think that, you know what it is? Because I've got a picture of her, right, because I got the cast list up here. You know what it is about Mia Goth? She does have a pretty face. I see a video on YouTube, Ask Me Anything. She's got a pretty smile. She has such she's actually got a similar problem to someone like Matt Smith, weirdly enough, where they've got such fair eyebrows. And right now, she clearly isn't doing the whole drawing her eyebrows on thing, which, good for her. I've actually never really dug anyone who does that. And apparently she was married to Shia LaBeouf, or is? Or no, yeah, she's been married since 2016 to Shia LaBeouf. Who the hell knew? Probably a lot of people who's not me. But yeah, that's just it. She has such fair eyebrows that gives her the kind of the Cro-Magnon thing going on here. That's the thing about her visually that kind of throws me off. But beyond that, she's done like Pearl, Maxine, X, Cure for Wellness, Infinity Pool. She's kind of become one of the new like horror scream queens, if you will, not even scream, but horror icons. That's all well and good. I've never personally been a fan of her as an actress, but I did like her in this role. I did. There is the, what's the best way to put it? Not naivety. There's more of a purity to her than the other ones. She's a woman who actually speaks her mind for the time, which is not common. She's well educated. She's well read. But she also has an obsession in the weird. She like Victor does. So that's why could be an attraction there. And she's the one to sympathize with the monster, I keep calling it a monster, but it's a creature. And I really appreciate that relationship as well and what they do with it. It really is nice. Christoph Waltz, I knew he was in the film, but I had forgotten. How old is Christoph Waltz these days anyway? Like, I know he's not like super old, but he's 69. He's a damn good looking 69. Holy crap. Like seriously, he is a damn good 69. There's a picture of him with like this blonde, long hair. I don't know if that's natural or not. But point me, yeah, wow. All I can say is good for him, man. But anyway, yeah, he's in there. He plays the benefactor of Victor, and he's not in the movie forever. But he is slightly a bit more of a comic relief. There is an importance to his role too. And I do dig that there's a little thing going on with him as well in terms of why he wants to help Victor, which admittedly, when he says, I'm going to ask for a favor, you know exactly what the favor is going to be. But the reason for the favor is actually kind of interesting. But then we got the monster, who is played by Jacob Elordi, who is if I were to guess or say what I think he's most famous for, would probably be Euphoria, which I've watched Euphoria, not really my thing. The Kissing Booth, which F that movie. Oh my God. He was in Saltburn. He's going to be in Wuthering Heights, Priscilla, The Kissing Booth 2. There was a sequel? Go to hell. Or was that the sequel? Oh God, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, he's been typecast a little bit in both, when you think of Euphoria and Kissing Booth as the pretty boy who's just broken, but like, oh no, I'm a good person. Like, and he's a good looking guy, not judging him for it. He's a good looking guy. Honestly, he has a little bit of like a Glenn Powell face to him. Got a really big chin. Like if chins could kill, like him and Bruce Campbell. But he's the creature, and I'll tell you what, best performance I've seen him do. Like this, first off, he's a tall guy too. He's actually, did I get that right? Is he 6'8"? No, he's 6'5", which still 5 inch. He towers over me. I'm only 6 foot. I used to be 6'1", but as you get older, you kind of shrink a little bit. I'm still 6 foot. That puts him that much taller than me. So when the creature is standing around, when we get full shots of the creature, there is an Igor in here. Wait a minute, what? Wait, what? Huh. There's an Igor in here, and I didn't recognize him as Igor. Probably because he isn't doing much. Like apparently is an Igor. It's just you wouldn't. Okay, that's another problem. I can tell you right with the film. Do not recognize the fact there's an Igor in this movie. Regardless, the monster is the creature is so unique. I think he looks mostly human. He does, but he's tall. At 6'5", he portray more like at 7, almost 8 feet tall. So clearly, there's a little bit of forced perspective going on. I'm sure that Jacob is very lanky. I've seen him on like Euphoria and all that. He's a very muscular, lanky guy. But either that or they were definitely using a body double at some points. But he's still. I like the makeup on him too because he looks like a living corpse. Like most of the color's gone from him. He also has a little bit of like the Prince Nuado look from Hellboy 2, which with the black lip thing going on with paleness. But as is depicted in the book, the creature isn't stupid. It's depicted as very simple at first, and just in this movie the same way, but as he grows and as he learns, he's actually depicted as being intelligent, wanting to have meaning, wanting to, be something more than what he believes in himself to be. And like they changed things. For example, the scene with the old man does change. If I remember correctly, the old man dies in the book. Well, it does still happen here, spoilers. But again, based off the book and other versions, but the methods, what happens changes. Like I believe Frankenstein does kill the old man by accident in the book, but not. That's what happens here. I won't say, but it is changed for the sake of this. And like I said, they also make it so the creature literally is like is functionally immortal. Like he hasn't figured out a way to die. Now, in my head, I'm just thinking, wait about a century, we'll develop bigger bombs, just stand under one of them during the Blitz and you'll be fine. Or just go to, once we develop nukes, just stand under a testing site. I'm sure, I don't think you can survive instant, incineration. But yeah, it really is the whole philosophical dilemma of where does soul come from? Who are you? If you weren't born, then where do you come from? Are you even human? Like, what does it mean to be a man? Like, so many of these questions being asked that are really interesting, and they definitely take their time in answering them, I think. And even then, you're not left with a definitive answer for anything. Oh well, not everything. There's like there's like one or two questions you get like a definitive answer on from a philosophical point of view, but it really is more, hey, you're alive. If you can't die, then you might as well live. That's one of the main things it boils down to. It's like, if you've got an eternal life, what are you going to spend your time doing with it? So yeah, look, Frankenstein is really good. Is it one of the best films I've seen this year? Yeah, actually, I'd put it on as one of the best films I've seen this year. But I'm sure I've still got other films coming out, and because, or to be coming out, and because it got released in theaters, at least to a limited degree, it can qualify for the Oscars, which that they were planning on doing. Either way, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Later.